What's up, New Jersey? Welcome back to another episode of the NJ1ST podcast. My name is Ryan McDonald. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, like the video, and leave a comment. Also, follow over on my Rumble and NJ1ST.com. This video is going to be about Tom Kean Jr., Northwest New Jersey, Congressional District 7. He's a now congressman, a former state senator, and he's a part of the Kean family that's been in New Jersey for centuries. And we're going to look into his voting record and his recent voting record that's getting a lot of attention. It's important because he will be reelected by rhinos next year, 2024. The House of Representatives passed a measure to repeal the ATF pistol brace rule. All the Republicans voted for it except two. Tom Kean Jr. in New Jersey is right alongside, actually, Brian Fitzpatrick in Pennsylvania. The congressional districts right alongside each other. Regardless, these two Republicans voted to keep the ATF pistol brace rule instead of repealing it with the rest of Republicans. Drama ensued when it was revealed that 20 Republicans voted with all of the Democrats because they refused to censure Adam Schiff attached with a $16 million fine, is basically what it comes down to. And it is quite interesting to see the politics from our representatives come about on Twitter, and we're going to look at that in a second. But I posted on the NJ1ST page saying someone needs to begin their primary against Tom Kean Jr. this year, 2023. They have to begin this year. If not, how serious will a 2024 primary be? He will just support whichever president candidate wins in the primary in the end. You have to hit him on the voting record. And previously on the NJ1ST podcast, he supports the endless wars. He supports our military over in Syria. He supports our military over in Somalia. He supports the Ukraine war. I could go on and on. And here he is voting with 20 Republicans with all of the Democrats, just like before he voted with one other Republican with all of the Democrats. So he's willing to vote with all of the Democrats against the Republicans. You may be wondering how Tom Kean Jr. became to be Congressman Tom Kean Jr., especially with losing his 2020 bid for Congress against Tom Malinitzky in CD7. Well, that was before CD7 was redistricted, and now in 2022, they took all of Warren County in Northwest New Jersey and put it in CD7. Now Tom Kean Jr. is congressman, and there was a big primary that happened in 2022, and basically that's why Tom Kean Jr. is the Republican congressman. Whoever won the primary was going to get the elected because he only won by 9,000 votes, as you see here, so it was very, very close. I was running a campaign in Jacksonville, Florida at the end of 2021, and I was in contact with Phil Rizzo, encouraging him to run in 2022. He wasn't set on it yet. I wanted to be involved. I wanted to help him win, but it didn't happen until after 2022, where he announced his candidacy for Congressional District 7. Phil Rizzo's treasurer offered me $500 a week to quit my job to work on his campaign full-time for Phil Rizzo and CD7. I couldn't do that. This was when gas was, $5 a gallon? It was ridiculous, the inflation going up. And I remember he really tried to get me to quit my job because it was for the good of the country, stuff like that. They really had great workers from YAL, Young Americans for Liberty, libertarians, not Republicans, but now maybe Republicans. Now maybe they're conservatives. I don't know. They might still be libertarians. Sort of like myself, right? But this is Sarah Rozzi. She did a great job for, she has I don't even know what that is, but she did a great job on Phil Rizzo's campaign, as well as Dan Lauchik. They're great activists in New Jersey. Dan is working for Shirley Cusick, who's going to be the 2024 Senate candidate for Republicans, the federal U.S. Senate candidate, and he's doing a great job. RealTomKean.com. I remember making these signs trying to get involved with Rizzo's campaign in my off hours when I was working full time. But I was able to do some content online, and that is, stir the pot of the NJGOP Republicans to find out which candidates are the real America First MAGA candidates. So there was this website, RealTomKean.com, and listen to this 3.5-minute video I have of me calling into a NJ Republican radio show and asking about this website.
calling the Bob and Steve show. You're live on Cruising 92.1. What's your first name and what are you calling about?
Hey, Steve. Hey, Mike. This is Ryan from Warren County. Just got a question for the primary. How you doing?
Okay.
Hi there.
Warren County? Okay.
Warren County now is in New Jersey, Congressional District 7,
Okay.
all of it, and because of the redistricting. And there's the primary up here for the Republicans starting up. And I remember last congressional, the congressional run in 2020, I gave you a call, Steve, and asked about the realvandrew.com. But this year, in 2022, there's a realtomkean.com. I was just wondering if you came across that website. It shows a past voting history of his having an alignment with pretty far left voting.
Nope, I haven't looked at it. Well,
if this is something that we should look into for a primary, if the Republicans in power have history.
I probably said something similar 2 years ago. If I don't live in it and I'm not working in it, I usually don't pay attention to it. So,
well, 2 years ago, we gave Jeff Van Drew the benefit of the doubt, even though he had his public voting record. Anybody could look it up. It was with the Democrats and everything, but we gave him the benefit of the doubt stepping in line because Donald Trump
we went with our president. Yes.
Right, but I don't think that he's endorsing Tom Kean, and it looks like this might be a primary CD7, one that we went on focusing on.
Well, okay.
So realtomkean.com.
All right. Well, thanks for calling. Thanks for letting me know about it. I'll take a look at it and go from there.
Awesome. Have a good day, guys.
Take care. Have a good one.
So we get listeners from all over the state.
It's incredible the reach that you and Bob have created over the last, 3 years.
Well, there we go. Thanks for pointing that out to me.
Yeah.
So I guess it's paid for by him? Is there a paid for by on there?
I haven't gotten to the bottom. Yes.
Well, it's paid for by Phil Rizzo for Congress. So without making any kinds of endorsements or anything else, I'm just going to say you got to look at the paid for by. And that should tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah,
yes.
we don't have the best broadband connection out here, so it took a little while for it to load on my phone. So, I thank the caller for pointing that out. I had not seen that site until just now. And look, it's a primary battle, and
that's what happens in primaries.
And this is what happens in primaries, and there are two schools of thought, and I think that those two schools of thought concerning primaries actually can both be true at times. Sometimes it makes the party stronger.
Yeah, they are both true.
And then sometimes it tears the party apart. I mean, when we're down in this state 1 million registered voters, I think that we need to do everything that we can to get behind the candidates that are endorsed by, the county lines. If you
Hey now.
I know. No, listen, I'm a county chairman as well. And if you have a county chair and you have a county committee that votes, there's a reason that those people are in place.
Now, the first voice you heard there was South New Jersey political operative Steve Cush. He was actually the campaign manager for Michael Clark this go-around. And he was just brushing off the realtomkean.com. The voting record was right there. Phil Rizzo paid for by. Okay, well, maybe it's got some useful information in it that we should look into. I guess no one wanted a primary Tom Kean Jr. up in Northwest New Jersey. There was one person that wanted to do it. It was Eric Peterson and Phil Rizzo. So if you look back at the results, again, Eric Peterson got 8,000 votes. Phil Rizzo got almost 13,000, and Tom Kean Jr. with 25,000. Tom Kean Jr. with the early votes and vote by mail was able to get over that big hump. If all of these people came together, they would have been able to vote and beat Tom Kean Jr. for one candidate. Maybe they can do that in 2024, but again, you have to start now in 2023. So this person right here maybe can be the person. Eric Peterson, he ran in 2022 and called Tom Kean Jr. a fake conservative. Here he is pictured with Josh Akins, who we helped in 2022 try and primary. He was unsuccessful, but it was a good run. He was here in 2021, actually 2022. This is a video of Eric Peterson and Josh Aikens with the Board of Ed, the LGBT curriculum, fighting back. And there were some interesting words here as well that Josh Aikens shared to me with Arise New Jersey, which was first started by Phil Rizzo, but Josh Aikens had to take over. At the end of the first quarter of his freshman term, Congressman Tom Kean Jr. broke a record for fundraising. He fundraised over $800,000, meaning he accepted from special interests and lobbyists, foreign influence groups, all of the alike. And whatever money you accept usually has a correlation to your voting record. So let's look into Tom Kean Jr.'s voting record as of 2023. At the clerk's website of the United States House of Representatives actually gives me all of the votes that he had. It's 10 pages. That's all they do. They go to work and they either vote aye or nay. That's all they do. I'm going to look in all through this to find any good or bad legislation he voted which way on. First, we can look at the sponsored legislation that he has sponsored. 2 Ukraine bills. 1 to recognize the sovereignty of Ukraine and unbreakable spirit of the people of Ukraine. This was first introduced in March. And the second bill was for a tactical missile systems in Ukraine. And this was as early as just this week, June 9th. He called on the Biden administration to immediately provide Army tactical missile systems to Ukraine. And then he also has a 1-seat ride act, which this was also in March, instructs the Secretary of State of Transportation to conduct a study. Oh my God. And also this one I can get behind. He, in May 31st, tried to establish a multi-agency middle school mental health task force at the Department of Education and Department of Health and Human Services. So 1 out of 4, those are the only sponsored bills he has, I believe. Sarah Rozzi, the Libertarian Republican conservative, encourages people to call his D.C. and New Jersey office. The best way to address the issue is to put pressure on Tom Kean Jr. and his staffers directly. Tom Kean Jr. voted yes to the protection of women and girls in sports. He voted to demand the government of People's Republic of China and the Communist Party of China immediately release Mark Sweden. He voted yes to encourage the expansion and strengthening of the Abraham Accords, which is just a globalist international relations treaty amongst Israel and Saudi Arabia and the rest of the Arab states. Basically, it's so that people from Tel Aviv can fly to Riyadh without getting shot down. I guess it's a good thing, right? Tom Kean Jr. voted no to removing United States forces from Somalia. He voted yes for the Secure the Border Act. In the matter of George Santos to expel him, he voted yes, expressing support for local law enforcement officers and condemning efforts to defund or dismantle local law enforcement agencies. He voted yes. China Financial Threat Mitigation Act, voted yes. The Halt Fentanyl Act, he voted yes. He voted yes for the Fiscal Responsibility Act. That's to raise the debt ceiling limit. And finally, he voted yes to table the motion of censoring Adam Schiff. I had to actually look into this because I was confused, but the Republicans brought up a motion to censor Adam Schiff, and then Democrats and only 20 Republicans didn't want that to happen. They wanted to kick the can down the road. So there was a motion to table. 20 Republicans, including Tom Kean Jr., voted yes. The rest of the Republicans voted no, so they're going to go through with censoring Adam Schiff, but they had to amend it even further in order to get more Republicans on their side. Let's see if Tom Kean Jr. is one of those Republicans. That's all I have for this week's episode of the NJ1ST podcast. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube and Rumble channel. Check out NJ1ST.com. But if anybody in CD7 plans on primarying Tom Kean Jr. in 2024, you have to start now. You have to start registering Republicans, registering independents and Democrats to the Republican side from the newly redistricted CD7. Start making olive branches, networking. Rizzo rematch 2024. He's not running. I've spoken with him. He has different projects. He's going to be in the political field. He's going to be in the game. But if you are serious, you have to start now. You can't wait until the election year to start. Follow me on all social medias at Ryan McDonald USA, also at NJ1ST. Hit me up, collab. I'm going to a lot of Board of Ed meetings. I'll be going to one tonight. There are many Board of Ed meetings around the state. You can get involved with the parents and pushing back against the political indoctrination of American youth. But also June 24th, there is a Right to Life rally down in Trenton. Come support people's right to life. You got to support the babies.